Look like a sine wave, man. Look like a cosine or sine wave. Anyway, all right, let's go. We got the intro in 5, 4, 3. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the GoLoco Show. You didn't know we did change our name. That was talked about in the last episode. Anywho, I'm your host Jovin, and with me, as it's been, let me redo the intro. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello, welcome to the Justin podcast.
Oh, okay.
The Jovin and Justin podcast.
At this point, yeah.
At this point.
Fourth time in
fifth time. You're like, you went from guest to now like the guy recurring guest now.
Yeah, I'm basically co-hosting at this point.
Basically. You and Josh just take turns co-hosting every 5 episodes.
There we go.
There you go. All right. Anyway, Justin is here. We're going to be discussing a few things regarding the MCU Spider-Man. We're going to talk.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to quickly do our thoughts about No Way Home. However, we are also going to go in depth on what we think. We're going to pitch ideas of what we want the next set of the next Spider-Man trilogy, which I think is like, it's not confirmed, but we at least feel. I think he's at least getting one more movie at minimum, right? Yeah. At minimum, yeah. And then there's rumors they're negotiating right now. I think they're just not announcing anything because they're making that Uncharted movie no one's gonna watch, so they don't want to impede the advertisement on that because it's still Sony. So they're like, we don't want to talk about a different Sony project before we even get this one out. I'm not gonna watch that. Are you gonna watch that?
I think I'm gonna watch it.
Maybe on video on demand.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll watch it in movies. I might watch it in movies with Chelsea because it's something to watch in the movies with Chelsea. So
yeah, but Batman comes out like March, which by the way,
that's also true.
That movie, just in terms of like, I don't know about the story, I don't know about the character, but like the camera work, the cinematography, and it's the same guy who did music as No Way Home. So I'm like, I saw it's the same guy, so I'm like. Okay, let's not go too ahead of ourselves. Anyway, if you're watching this on YouTube, like the video, subscribe, hit that notification bell, never miss an upload. If you're on Spotify, Apple, Google Podcasts, follow, download the episode, give us a rating. Remember to support us monetarily on Patreon, patreon.com/GoLocoPod for as little as $2 a month. Anyway, let's get into this. Man, I've gone way better at that intro. All right. Anyway, so No Way Home came out at the time of this recording. I'm trying to see the date. Month and a half ago, so I think everyone's had time. I don't think we want to do it too in depth. We're gonna say that, and then it's like 2 hours of a 4-hour podcast just talking about No Way Home, which it could be. Look, I'm not even gonna lie, I could probably talk about No Way Home forever. And then hopefully that rumor that it comes out on video on demand in in February. I'm gonna watch the shit out of it.
I want to watch it again. Yeah,
I want to watch it again. But yeah, what was your thoughts on No Way Home?
It was a great movie. I cried at least 7 times. It was amazing in terms of just like the pacing and everything. I loved it.
Yeah, same here. I think because the theater I was in was just so hype. I don't feel like I had the chance to cry because I was like, If I watched it by myself, I'd be like, let's go. Full blown spoiler warning. We're just gonna go into it. Fuck. The 3 Spider-Man was fucking the most epic shit I've ever seen in my life.
So cool.
Fucking the whole interaction. I like how they weren't just cameos and they were like legit like in the last
integrations.
Almost the whole last third of the movie. It didn't feel like as long as it was. It was like 2.5 hours. I think maybe like if I think back on it, like that whole middle section kind of maybe felt long, but at the same time, I'm looking at it didn't feel like slow at all.
I think because of the introduction of new characters every like 25 minutes made it more interesting because it's not the same thing being recycled over and over again,
Right.
Because like when I was watching the first Spider-Man, the second Spider-Man of Tom Holland, I watched the entire thing and I'm like, man, this thing was so boring.
Oh yeah. It was definitely like it was pretty. Yeah, I would say
compared to like
even Homecoming.
Yeah, no, yeah, Homecoming and No Way Home, not No Way Home, but Far From Home was so boring compared to
This
Tobey
one.
Maguire and Andrew Garfield ones.
Yeah.
Like I thoroughly enjoyed Tobey Maguire's and even the second what we call Amazing Spider-Man too. Like that was like so cool. I don't know why everybody's getting shit about it, but I mean like compared, yeah, it was just a lot more fun, I guess.
Yeah, it was definitely like hella dope.
Yeah.
What was like what was the scene that made you cry? Was it Ame?
All of them, man. Fucking okay,
Bro, the
spoilers.
whole okay. Well, I already said spoiler warning like 2 minutes ago. You're fine.
Spoiler. Aunt May, Andrew Garfield catching Zendaya.
Yeah,
When they're talking about Uncle Ben on the rooftop.
yeah.
Fucking. Oh my god, what was another one? Fucking. Yeah, I think that's what I did. I think there was a little bit more like heartfelt moments, but not like tearful moments. But yeah, those were
Yeah.
like the three big
No,
ones that
bro,
like got to me.
the whole section from when Aunt May like starts to die all the way to like right before Andrew Garfield
Yeah,
comes in, that whole scene was like bro, I think that was the most well shot MCU thing I've ever seen in my life.
yeah, that
Like
was
when he's in the
crazy.
rain, he's just standing there and just Jay Jonah being a dick, being like, "We gotta help Spider-Man's a menace." And I was just like,
Yeah,
bro, he just him just standing in the rain. I'm like, bro, that's like fucking just send him.
crazy.
And fucking
And
Willem Dafoe, Green Goblin, just
dude,
stole the show.
William Dafoe being William Dafoe in Green Goblin was just him being Green Goblin was like
The best thing
you
is that
can't
they
have
oh,
anybody else.
yeah. At least not for like Norman, which that might be
Yeah,
spoilers for what I
yeah.
might be talking about, but anyway, but yeah, fucking Norman is just hella. He's hella. He was just hella cool, man. He would just.
Yeah,
He
they
just
played
stole
him
the
so
show.
well.
Like
Oh
the
yeah,
best thing they could have done is what the MCU kind of gets flack for, where everyone takes off their mask. But like
mm.
Willem Dafoe's face is a mask onto itself. Like
Yeah. He's
I
basically
think
like Jim Carrey.
yeah, I was about to say like he's only him and Jim Carrey can make. Oh, I think Jim Carrey's face is way more stretchable. That freaks me
Yeah,
out when he does like his Grinch face. I'm like,
the
bro.
Grinch.
I'm like,
Yeah,
and everyone's
it's
like, oh, I thought there was
crazy.
makeup. In that one interview, like, I thought there was makeup. No,
Nah,
that's it.
bro.
I mean, obviously there was makeup prosthetic, but he was making that face, which is why
Oh
the
yeah,
Cat in the Hat movie looks like shit in comparison, and all the
and
booze.
yeah, and William Dafoe and Andrew Garfield definitely stole the show. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, Andrew Garfield's literally talent wise probably the best actor of the Peter
Yeah,
Parkers. Not saying the other two are bad; they're not bad, but like when you're going up against a guy who was like Oscar level talent, they're like.
yeah. Well,
But Tom's still young and he's done some cool things, and then
yeah,
Toby hasn't acted in anything outside of like the Boss Baby movie as a voice actor. I think it's the last thing he really. So when he hasn't done
yeah.
acting, and so, bro, everyone was like, man, he's just like so dopey. I'm like, bro, Toby, Peter Parker in the Sam Raimi movie is dopey. He just kind of like that is him. He's not acting any different. And then when he got hella
Yeah.
pissed off, I'm like, there's Bully Maguire right there.
Oh my god, it was
When
so
he's like,
funny.
how is this helping?
the fucking TikTok meme, dude, is so funny when I just watch it. How is this helping? Da, 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 da. I'm just like, oh my
No,
god.
and by the
It's
way,
like so perfectly edited.
yeah, and the reason I think Andrew Garfield said he improvised some lines, so that's why there's some points where like he's like, "I love you guys," and then Tom and Toby are like,
Thank you.
Thank you," because they're like he improvised that, so everyone's like, that makes sense why they didn't respond because they're probably thinking like, "Do I? What do I say?" Real
Right.
quick? And they didn't want to do it again, right?
The funny thing is that they both said thank you.
Thank you.
One person didn't say I love you and the other person said thank you. They both said it. It was like it was just
Thank you.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, but like also the score in the bro. When I was like in the movie and I was listening to the score, I'm like, bro, I have
Oh, the
never
music
heard
was great.
outside of the Avengers theme. The MCU has been like flamed for not really having an iconic score because like
Yeah.
all their iconic music is like Iron Man literally had "I Am Iron Man" the first movie, and then fucking ACDC. That's not a score. That's just taking already dope ass music, putting it in, and then Guardians. That's just
Right.
all pop, old school pop songs. So it's like not really a score, but like this score was like what the
Yeah.
that final swing when he just like hella little quiet and starts building up right before the end. I'm just like, bro, and that suit, bro. I swear to God,
I wish they showed more of the suit because it
that
was like so hard to see.
yeah, there's like I mean, people probably there's probably fan art of it. There's probably like people saw
Oh yeah.
you technically see every part of the suit, but you never see it like standing
Yeah,
still.
fully like standing still. Yeah.
I think they also said like that was the one suit that they did not have on set because I think the whole you can tell the whole last part is kind of CGI.
Oh yeah, CGI.
So
Yeah, I could
like,
definitely
but
tell.
like if we get into it, that next movie, I know they're like they want as many quote unquote suits as possible to sell toys, but I mean that could just be cured. But
Nah, there's no way.
but like he's still. I mean that is the main suit he's going to be wearing. But like I mean, there's an easy way to get a new suit without having to get rid of the new suit. But we can get it
You know
into
what I
that.
mean?
A little end credit scene at the end of this movie didn't give away a possible thing they could do.
You're
That
right.
that's an easy way to like not get rid of it. Anyway. But yeah, so overall thoughts, just great as I think it's top.
It was a great movie.
I think it's like
Chelsea loved it. Like she said, it was like the best movie ever. Period. Like I was like, whoa, okay,
whoa.
chill there.
Ashley did say she always says she likes movies. Her favorite
Mm.
movie, I think, because like I only started watching the MCU with her with Civil War.
Mhm.
So so to be fair, she's been with the Tom Holland Spider-Man this entire time. But she didn't watch
Oh, okay.
I think she watched like she was like, I watched Spider-Man back in the day. I'm like, which one? She's like, I don't know the actor, but like there was a train. I'm like, Spider-Man 2. She watched Spider-Man. There was a train. Spider-Man 2. There's good taste. Good taste. Because
Yeah.
okay, she wasn't into movies. So she
Mm.
probably didn't see Andrew Garfield at all. So I was like, I was only
Right,
Tobey
right,
Maguire left. So,
right.
but
Yeah.
like,
Now, me and Chelsea watched the entirety of it. Like Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire's, and then we watched Venom because I knew that Venom 2 had the end credit scene, so I had to have
yeah,
her watch Venom.
I
So
don't think we watched Venom because like I remember everyone was like hella messed up, but we watched Venom 2, and Ashley and I were both like, that was like an hour too short. I was
yeah,
like,
it was. I feel like the Venom movies
it
are
was
very
90 minutes. It
fast.
was 90 minutes. I'm like,
Yeah,
this is like barely over the freaking Broly movie, and only 20 minutes more or something.
yeah,
It was like
you're
hella
right.
cheap. Hella, not
Like
cheap. Hella,
the story is like so as it builds the character and then it goes straight into the fight. I'm like, holy
bro,
Christ!
they Eddie Brock probably has like ADHD or something. They just keep the editing staff also had ADHD or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
That's the only thing I can think of. But yeah,
it's crazy, man.
yeah, it is crazy. Shit. For context, Ashley's favorite comic book movie. You probably couldn't guess it because it's not something you'd think of.
Comic
Because
book movie?
or so she was like when we came out of the movie that we did watch, she was like, "That's like the best super thing movie or best one of the best movies she's watched." Is not MCU.
Okay, I was about to say it's probably not.
And it's not like DCEU. So I don't think like Zach. I'm specifically saying not DCEU. So not the Zack
Oh,
Snyder, not
and you saw it in the
Shazam
movies.
movies. It's recent
Recent. Oh,
or last 3 years. So I think it's right before the pandemic.
Deadpool.
No, Joker.
Really? Okay. Really?
Yeah, I'm like, I looked at her. I'm like, I like that movie too, but I was like,
The funny thing, I've never seen it.
it's hella, it's hella thriller. Is it more? It's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, I
psychological as
figured.
shit. I'm just like, bro. I watch them like I haven't seen a superhero. It's the only superhero movie like it. I know they're thinking about
It's not
making
even
it.
really a superhero movie,
No,
is it?
it's not even a super villain movie. It's more like, hey, what if we just made everyone broken, and then the main character's even more broken, and they're
Hmm.
in Gotham, which is broken on itself. And I'm just like, and Joaquin Phoenix just kills it. I'm just like, bro, if you ever seen the trailers of him doing the dance thing, I'm like, or is it like a body? I'm like, bro, he's fucking like his spine is like, and apparently that's
Yeah,
his actual
that's how he
like
looked.
that's his actual like he has a little actually has like a problem issue with his spine anyway, so he can literally like click it in and out of place. So there's
Ooh.
the cat things ran up in your window. In the back.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got it.
I was just like, well,
There
get,
you go.
let's get off there.
Doesn't like air, compressed air.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, No Way Home, great movie. What was your
Great movie.
what was like your quote unquote least favorite part of the movie?
Least favorite part.
Because I don't think I hated or even disliked anything, but I definitely have a least favorite stuff. Like stuff I was like
You
neutral
know,
on.
I don't.
I think
I mean, there are neutral parts of it. I mean,
yeah,
definitely, but like, I don't think there was a bad part of it. I mean, I'm trying to
no.
think,
For me, just
but
maybe help you out because for me, I thought it was due to time conflicts, but the fact that like there was no new footage of Sandman and Lizard that was reused. It
what
was
do you mean
all
new?
oh, if you look when they turned the Sandman and the Lizard back to human, it's literally just footage from Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man, just repurposed.
Oh,
Because I think
really?
because they did voiceover, but I think because of COVID stuff, they couldn't like get into like wherever they were at filming at the
Hmm.
time. So I was like,
I didn't
okay,
know.
can you just like get a decent mic, record, and then just send over, and we'll just CGI you into the movie? Because
Hmm.
yeah, because like Sandman was obvious because he literally just looks like he literally does like the same exact poses. I
Right.
noticed it in the theater. I didn't even like. I know I saw some stuff like on TikTok and YouTube talking about it later, but like I noticed, I'm like that's reused footage. They just changed. But I was like, the only other
No, I
thing,
didn't notice that.
the only other thing is that we never really got a good look at Toby's costume during the movie. Like,
True.
just like,
That is true.
and some people were saying like, oh, they messed up the eyes, and I'm like, bro, I could barely see the eyes for like half a second. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean
The only
that,
time I saw it was when he was on the top of the Statue of Liberty.
yeah,
That's it.
he had like the. They said he was wearing the suit from like bottom down, but I don't think he ever put. Well, maybe he put the mask on for some parts, but I was like, this looks. They're obviously not putting the mask on for like up close because I think they probably had to well, obviously there's some CGI because I don't think oh, there's CGI in the original ones too, but like there it was dark and shit. And
Mhm.
there's I saw Andrew Garfield's costume a few times, like pretty close up, but I never saw Toby's except for like when he's about to be drowned in sand. I think that's the only close up
Yeah.
we see of his mask and stuff.
You're
Anyway,
right. You're right.
all right. So let's go into pitching our ideas for a potential Spider-Man. Here come
All
the
right.
possible clickbait titles. Clickbait. Let me see how much
Anything
click
you need.
any clickbait. I mean, you could probably just send a photo of yourself later, but let's try. Let's see what I can put in the title. Here we go, Justin. What is your idea for the
All
next
right.
part of the MCU Spider-Man with Tom Holland?
So
Unless you're not going with Tom Holland, okay. Or are you?
my
Here we
no, I'm
go.
going with Tom Holland. I'm gonna
All
go
right.
with Tom Holland
All right.
because it has to stick with the same Spider-Man. Like, well, here's my idea. So
All right.
basically,
Okay. Here we go.
my first movie in the trilogy will be Tom Holland and the symbiote,
Ooh.
the Venom symbiote. So basically, I want him to be more of like since he's lost everything, I want him to start trying to find himself and then start losing himself in a sense, you know?
Hmm.
So that'd be like interesting, like internal struggle because he's, he hasn't had an like he's had like a lot of like personal loss, but he hasn't had any time to like internal struggle and things like that, like power struggle with himself essentially, like we've seen. So I definitely want to dive into that, like have him be this have the symbiote, and then like have him like be more real life, like have a job, struggling, trying to pay rent,
I need the rent
and
guy to come back. Where's
oh
my
my god, they
rent?
should have done that, dude. They should have done that in
No,
the ending scene.
I mean you never
I
see his
wanted
face.
it.
You never see the
I
face of
know
the guy. And it
they
doesn't
could have
sound
just
like
done the
him,
fucking
but
voice.
doesn't.
Yeah,
Well, we'll see. Well, I
yeah,
think they're probably like the actor probably like they couldn't get
that'd be
him,
so
and it
funny.
was like, hey, you want to show up for like 5 seconds? And it's like, no, no, I don't want to show up for 5 seconds.
I mean, I would love to show for 5 seconds in a movie like that.
Y- Yeah, but I mean, he's acted in other things too. So I mean, he's not. I'm not like a gnome, but it's like still an actor. I'm
That's
like,
true.
how much you paying me for 5 seconds? It's like $1,000. Fuck you. Get out of my
Oh
face.
yeah, if it was, yeah, it depended on the pricing too.
Like,
Yeah, that
get
makes
out of my
sense.
face. Come back to me next movie when I need my rent. Like,
Yeah.
he actually
So
gets
yeah, I
paid in
definitely
the
want
money they give to him on set. Like, oh, I
yeah.
only got $5. What the fuck? All right, so
So yeah,
struggling with
I
the
definitely
symbiote.
want. Yeah, I
Symbiote.
definitely want him to like have like the power, and then to have like that internal struggle of like, uh, like kind of like Bully Maguire in a sense, but I don't know if I wanted to be like that
Dun, dun,
crazy.
dun. You want to get the
Like,
dance sequence? It starts
yeah,
dancing.
because he doesn't get, because when it comes to like Eddie Brock, the Venom thing, he doesn't have that
Venom.
like struggle essentially. He doesn't have it where it's like the Sam Raimi Venom. He has like the newer Venom that we get is just more of like a co-hosting type thing, but he gets the powers.
There's a couple.
But
There's just a couple at this point. Oh,
yeah,
you love
and
me,
basically,
yeah.
but he doesn't get like Bully Maguire. At least Tom Hardy doesn't. He
No,
just
he still
has
acts
another
like
person
Tom.
speaking your
Yeah,
mind. Yeah,
right.
but it'll be cool to have like that co-symbiosis type thing, see how that works, and then have it branch off into being an enemy. I definitely want to see like Scorpion, Rhino, like basically Sinister Six type stuff, like hit the MCU Electro, the MCU Hobgoblin. That'd be pretty cool.
Mm.
So yeah, that's my first movie, and the second movie I
Bro,
definitely
Sinister
want.
Six in the first movie, bro. He gonna be like
That'd be
freaking.
crazy.
Okay, does he keep the suit at the end? Does he have the suit still at the end?
Mm.
Because that's a big thing.
I think he doesn't. I want to be like he gets it, and then it branches off into a Venom, so he doesn't have the suit.
All right, got it. Okay, second movie. Let's go. What do we got?
Second movie, I think I want a new love interest, Black Cat, but and I want to
I'm
be
not
like
using
really,
her. I'm not using her in my pitch at all.
Yeah, no, definitely not. Black Cat for sure would definitely be cool, and Gwen Stacy. I want there to be a Black Cat Gwen Stacy like struggle. Like I want him to start dating Gwen Stacy, and I want Black Cat to swoop in, and like him having that internal story, kind of like how it was in the Spider-Man video game, where it was like MJ and Black Cat, but like instead of MJ, it's Gwen Stacy, and then maybe MJ will come back, but we don't know how long that time skip is gonna be.
Okay. Before we get any further, I just want to let y'all know, Peter Parker in the comics is canonically very hot.
Yes.
Like
he is. He gets all the bitches.
He's had. Let's just go through a few of them. We got original. We got Gwen Stacy. We got MJ. We got Black Cat. We got freaking what's the Netflix girl? The superhero. What's her name? Jessica.
Oh, Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones apparently tells him later, like, yeah, in high school I was hella into you. I'm like, bro, you got into it with the freaking flat top glasses, dude. No, and then he got Mockingbird, who, by the way, if you don't know, Mockingbird is Hawkeye's ex-wife, but in the MCU is still there because they confirm it at the end of Hawkeye. He was Mockingbird, whatever. So basically, Spider-Man gets with Velma because that's the actress who plays Mockingbird. It's fucking Velma.
You're right.
So like he gets around. He might even be bi-curious. We don't even know. Everyone just like, bro, he's charming. He's pretty decent looking, and he's kind of a dick though. That's the only thing Bully Maguire did get. And they maybe turned it up too much. He is kind of a dick. Like he is. Like when people are like, oh, he's this nerdy guy. No, he was one step away from being an incel back in the day. And he got the powers. Like, I hate being all these dumb. This Flash guy sucks. And no one cares about him. Like, and then we got Liz Allen. We got originally too. So like, bro, he had Betty Brant, which was weird because in the comics, she's way too old. But 1960s comics, fantasies, whatever. It's not.
You're right.
But whatever. Anyway, but yeah, like Peter Parker fucks. Silk.
Yeah, so Silk Spider. Oh my, dude, they introduced Silk Spider. That'd be sick.
She was, I think, technically in the like Homecoming, but it's like I think it's just because like she's in the background, just classmate, just right there.
Yeah.
So I don't think if they make Silk, they're gonna have to they don't even have to retcon it, just because like I don't think anyone paid attention to the credits to see there's a random person named Cindy Moon in the background.
That's true.
I don't know if I want the pheromone weird thing that they wrote in there. I'm like, that's just little too much. Why can't they just be attracted? Why can't they just be attracted to each other like normal people? Not some like, hey, we got bit by the same spider. Let's procreate. What?
Yeah, it's procreate because it's in our genetic.
That's not how that works, Dan Slott.
I mean, it could.
Well, I think they basically wrote that out because they haven't mentioned it since he left the book. And she's
That
just
is
like,
true.
she's like, yeah, he's a decent looking dude.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. So that's the second movie. Struggle the quadrangle, the Spider-Man,
Yeah, I
Spider-Man
want the
home
the
harem,
Spider-Man and yes, Spider-Man harem,
Spider-Man Sword Art
home harem.
Online. They go
Yep.
into VR.
Spider-Man Online. So yeah, that'd be the second movie, and the
Oh
third
my
movie,
god, the quintuplets, but it's
that'd be crazy. The
okay.
third movie, I want Miles Morales.
Ooh, okay. We're gonna introduce
Him
him
to be a mentor
Ooh,
after
okay.
after the relationship, after the internal struggle, after everything he's been through in terms of just losing everybody. I want him to start like, basically have it be like the Spider Verse, where he becomes a mentor in a sense and trains Miles Morales to be the next, or not to be the next Spider Man, to be a Spider Man. Not the next one. Maybe. I mean, it depends on how many movies they give him. But yeah, I want to be a mentor. So that'd be cool.
All right. So we got the plot. He gets the symbiote. He has to struggle with that. Okay, who's your okay?
Yep.
We got Sinister Six on the first. Who's your villains? You didn't really have any villains for the second and third movie. Who are your villains?
Well, I mean,
Who's your Sinister? Who's your Sinister Six in the first movie? By the way.
Oh, fucking everybody, man! Like, we got Rhino, Scorpion, Electro, Vulture, Green Goblin, and Venom. We got Venom.
For Venom, okay. Yeah, and that's how it gets rid of the suit. Where it's not really a six villain. It's more like, I want my suit back. Give it back.
Yeah. Or he materializes.
Like every time I materialize, I don't have a pinky toe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it could be like one of those things where it's like where Venom takes over, like kind of like Ultron in a way, where he has like kind of like Vision. You know what I mean? Where he is in control and he has an organic body to parasite off of, essentially.
All right. Okay.
So he's his own entity in a way.
Got you. All right.
Second one, I don't know. Second one would be kind of hard. I don't know, because they hint. It would have to just be like a shot out of the dark. Second and third one would have to be shot, because I mean, like, you can reintroduce an enemy, but then like if you want to have like a newer enemy, it would have to be something that's already been like what's the right word? Pre-hinted at, in a sense. You know what I mean? So I don't know about the second and third one. Maybe the third one could be like something like where it's I don't know, a universal thing again, where it's like the spider universe, essentially, Spider-Verse.
All right. 1 second. Let me just check something real quick. I need to check something for my my pitch real quick.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm like, I don't know. I don't think anybody. I think in all the movies they haven't really reused an enemy except for like Thanos. But like, Thanos is like a big one. But like Captain America, they never reused like Red Skull, essentially. Iron Man never reused an enemy. So
okay, want to check something? All right, I got my pitch. Here we go. I just wanted to see something. I need to see like someone's last name real quick. So I'm gonna switch some stuff up because. All right, here we go. This is how we're gonna start. I'm gonna cheat a bit. We don't. The next time we see Tom Holland Spider-Man, we don't see him in his own movie. But it's not a big It's not like Endgame or Civil War, where it's like a big role. He's just gonna be a cameo, but it's gonna show where he is in his life, and we're going to reintroduce him in the one other movie that John Watts is about to direct, which is the Fantastic Four. Because if you remember, the first Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, after he got in the series, number 1 is him meeting the Fantastic Four. So this is what I feel like I want.
Cosmic Spider-Man.
No, it's literally just him. Like, he just meets the Fantastic Four. They like quote unquote fight, and they're like, "Hey, you're cool. You want to join?" He's like, "Nah." But like in the movie, so I don't know what the Fantastic Four movie is gonna be. We don't even have a cast at this point. We don't even know if they've been cast or if they're casting. No idea. Even though it comes out in like 2-3 years, but we're chilling. John Watts, I think, because John Watts, the one who did all the 3 Spider-Man movies, his next movie is Fantastic Four. So he's probably literally writing it right now. Anyway, the reason I'm saying that, one, Tom Holland mentioned he knows who bought the Stark building, and the only person who tell him that would be anyone in Marvel. It makes sense if John Watts told him, yeah, the Fantastic Four do buy the Stark building, and that's how he would know. Anyway, So we're gonna whatever's happening in the Fantastic Four, we just go. There's gonna be it could be at the end, the beginning, the middle. I don't know what's the Fantastic Four, but it's gonna be like Reed's rich, like relatively rich. Like you can build you can buy the freaking Avengers Tower, right? He has enough money to do that. Whether or not he got a loan or he's like sharing with some other rich people or whatever, he has the building, got the top floor, whatever. Ooh. But anyway, it's more like, wow, Reed, they're doing so much for the community. Look at the fucking Baxter Building scholarship for Empire State University. And they're like, yeah, I just handpicked some people we found. And they're like, and then you see like, hey, Mr. Richards, and you just turn around and you just see Peter, and you're like, Peter, what's like? I'm glad you accepted my scholarship, man. It's like, yeah, it's like no, so for someone who only has his GD and only been community college, you're like one of the smartest people I've ever met. I know Empire State University is more like a state school, but like we're giving you a full ride and blah blah blah. The one good thing in Peter, like as long, by the way, but like as long as just make sure you maintain that GPA though, because like it's GPA reliant. Which if you know Peter, gotta do his superhero shit, so he can't study even though he's smart. He can't study half the time. He might not even show up to his finals. So that's the big conflict. But he was like, yeah, almost a guaranteed full ride to ESU. I was like, oh, thank you, Mr. Richards, and that's all you see. You just like quick cameo, and then like something happens. It's like, oh, maybe like all of a sudden like you hear like some like over some police like, hey, there's a robbery going on 5th Avenue or whatever, and then you just like turn and then you come back and then Peter's gone. You're like, oh, where'd he go? And he's like, whatever. And then you're like, implied he just went to go be Spider-Man to go say. Anyway, now we're going into the first new Spider-Man film with this new trilogy. I don't know if John Watts is going to do, whoever's directing it. And it's basically Peter first semester at ESU. He's moving in. He's working at a pizza shop because I am not making the news. I'm like, at least not yet.
Pizza time.
Not yet. Not yet. It's pizza time. But he's got a minimum wage job. He's still in his he's moving out of his apartment, but like he's moving to his dorm, or maybe he's moving to an apartment near campus. So then that way we can introduce where's my rent, Mr.
Doc Ock.
Doc Ock is his rent guy. It's Alfred Molina, but he's not even Doc. It's like, oh thanks, guy who looks like my arch nemesis from a different reality, but is not. No, but it's Mr. Rent guy. You did not give me my rent. Remember, rent is due at the end of the month. It's like, okay, Mr. I think Demiskri or something like that. Anyway, he get in, but it's like he has to share it, right? So it's like he walks in, he's like you can introduce like let's make it like the one apartment. So there's like 4 or 5 people in there, right? So like you just see like you could just throw in random people.
Osborn.
No, wait, I'm getting to that. No. Well, Ned and Flash are going to MIT, right? So, but. And then I think MJ also got into MIT, so we're just gonna, for now, we're not gonna think about. For now, on the back, they're you can't really think about them right now. But it's just you can just throw away just random freaking people. Maybe I don't know, Liz Allen's written as awkward, even though she doesn't remember that she put her father in jail. It's like she remembers Spider-Man put her father in jail, but it's like, oh, it's Liz. That's weird.
Yeah, she doesn't know Peter.
But she don't know Peter, but she's like, I hate Spider-Man or whatever. She could just pull into a random person like, oh, whatever. And it's like, oh, by the way, your roommate came in. You can just go around the corner, right? It's like, oh, sure. He goes in. It's like, he just like comes in. He's like, puts stuff down. Like, oh, hi. Like, what's your name? Oh, my name's Peter Parker. What's your name? I'm like, my name is Harrison Lyman, because in this universe, Norman Osborn died early on or left. But in the reverse happens and Harry's mom stayed alive. So we're not going to, only the deep cut Marvel fans are going to realize that that's Harry Osborn. And in the comics, he became Peter's college roommate. So everyone who like knows like, oh shit, that's Harry Osborn. But everyone who's like, who the fuck, Harrison? Who the fuck, this weird ass motherfucker. It's like Timothy Chalamet looking, because Tom Holland said he wants Timothy Chalamet as like a new side character.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool. So the Dune guy, which is gonna be weird with Zendaya. I was like, oh, I'll make this.
Yeah, you're right.
That might just make this. But anyway, I think they're just probably just friends. But whatever. But like That's the first deep. We're not even like probably 20 minutes in. This is how deep cut I got this pitch. I've been thinking about this pitch for like a month and a
Jesus
half.
Christ.
Anyway, so he's like, like, what's like Harrison, but my friends call me Harry. He's like, hey Harry, what's it? But because if he says, I'm thinking like if he says Osborn, Peter's gonna be like Osborn, he's gonna kill you. But like if he never says Osborn, at least not revealed now, we're gonna be like, okay, whatever, right? He's like, everyone who's in the know is like, we're gonna keep an eye on you because he doesn't have a rich empire because he's with his mom, that's how he connects with Peter because like, oh, what happened to like, oh, my parents died and then my aunt also died a while back. It's like, oh man, like, but you had a single aunt, and so Peter relates to Harry, who only has his mom right now. I think it's Emily Lyman Osborne, but no Osborne. She dropped the last name because Norman either died or deadbeat, or Norman didn't do anything with his life. He's either a deadbeat, poor, homeless guy, or he's dead. We're not doing Norman because no one can do better than Willem Dafoe.
What if he never what if they did the dirty and then he never showed up? Like he just like
yeah, that's why I'm saying like there's no Oscorp because obviously Norman didn't find any Oscorp when he came in No Way Home. So like he didn't do anything.
What if he did find Oscorp just in a different name, or like no, he found Oscorp but like he didn't show up for the pregnancy,
or it's under, so or maybe he died and he gave everything to his wife, so it's actually Lyman Corporation.
Lyman Corp?
So like now everyone's like, that's why he couldn't find it. He's like that's why he's like, and my son, like there's no Harry Osborn, but because he could, right. Because that was the thing that Norman like focused on, like there's no Oscorp and my son, and they specifically said that, so like, so there's importance, either Harry doesn't exist or Harry is not with, so that's why we're gonna see that's gonna be a character we set up for these next 3 movies, because yes, we're doing Goblin, but we're doing, because Hobgoblin in the comics is just a freaking douchebag who's just a criminal. He's cool and all, but he's basically a mafia boss who just stole some Green Goblin armor one day. Like, hey, I'm gonna fuck off Kingpin, my territory now. But like, I'm gonna make it. This is gonna be very close to the Ultimate Comics, and if you know, if you've seen the Ultimate Goblin, you know how we're gonna distinguish it. But anyway, so they go to ESU, and they're like, oh, I don't know, Peter can do any fucking major. He's probably doing chemistry. Let's just say biochem, because he can fucking make webbing. He's just smart. He could do any. He could do all of them, right? He's just kind of here just because like he knows he has to have a life. And this whole first movie, like yours, is him struggling. Because if you saw the script come out, it said like Peter Parker has died, but Spider-Man lives on. But Peter, like you saw him, he's getting his GED, so he wants some sort of life. So
yeah.
But then Mr. Fantastic gives him scholarship, and he would be insane to say no. But now he's like, well, I don't really care if it ended up going in flames. Don't care about GPA, whatever. Anyway, he's going to class. Obviously, he may be like, oh, you have this one more GE class. Like, oh, what the fuck? I did my GED, I did my still have a G. He's like, yeah, because it doesn't transfer normally, like in the real world, because everything has to be like, I can't take this class. Whatever, it's like English or history, and he's like steps in.
Yeah.
Harry's in there. He's like, "Oh, what's up, Pete? What's up?" And, or maybe he's not. Or maybe he's like the comments like, "Oh, it's Peter Parker, or whatever." I'm Harry Lyman. Fucking, I have Lyman Corp, bro. I don't give a fuck. But I don't want to make Harry smart. I need Harry to be just average. But he's trying to be cool. But like, it's like in a different way. He's not trying to impress his dad. It's more just like he just wants to be. Like he heard everything. Like Norman was a figure, but he's dead. So he's trying to live up to the reputation of Norman in his head, but he's not trying to like impress him in this case. So it's like similar way. Anyway, and then this blonde chick just comes up, sits down, and they're like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh, is this seat open?" Like, "Oh yeah, go ahead, sit there." And like, "Oh, what's your name?" Peter. What's your name? Because remember, by the way, there's 2 blonde chicks in Peter's life. One of them just decides to dye their hair white when they go in their costume, and the other one wears white in a different universe. You know what I'm going about. Anyway, so she sits down. She's wearing this green dress. She's just all chill, kind of like chill. Just kind of like you kind of just feel this air of like difference. And you're like, "What's your name?" "Oh, my name's Felicia. Nice to meet you." And you're like, "Fuck." it looks like Gwen, but it's Felicia. I'm combining Gwen Stacy and Felicia Hardy just because like it's gonna be like her because like she's gotta have two different personalities because like not personality but like she's also living two different lives, right? So that's the parallel for this movie. They're gonna like they're at some point Peter's swinging around. Okay, I'm speeding up through the movie because this is only the fucking first movie. You're speeding, and he just like, so he just sees like, what the fuck? And he's like, and he just sees someone like cracking open a window in a black costume. Or you know, what? It's even better. Okay, I got a way to introduce the symbiote because I want the symbiote in this movie because that's the main thing he's gonna be doing. Not the main villain, but like main very big conflict because the symbiote will obviously push him to be Spider-Man more because it's like
yeah.
Like, we don't need this. We just, you can go sleep. I'll fight with your body, and you just wake up with a broken bone, but I'll heal it in like 5 seconds. But like, we're just Spider-Man. We're just Spider-Man because like
more Spider-Man.
Because like, I feel like the Bully Maguire, the symbiote, no personality. He's just an evil parasite thingy. And then the Venomverse is literally a whole like its whole comedic. It's like socially awkward comedic, but like because it's a little bit, it doesn't really have. It didn't retain any of the personality, but it's more like. Yeah, it's like in the it's more like the comic symbiote. Like, yeah, I'm trying to do what's best for you, and you obviously, I can see you want to be Spider-Man, so let's just be Spider-Man because Peter Parker life sucks. We're just Spider-Man. Anyway, he gets the way he gets it. There's like this big like fight thing, like something like they're trying to steal from this plane or whatever from like Mexico that came in because remember the symbiote got dropped off and all the way over there, right? And so attached to a plane that went to New York. Like this whole like thing, Spider-Man stops it, but then it's like he just sees Black Cat like stealing. So hey, what are you doing? And he says there's this whole chase. But at some point, like the symbiote like latches on to his foot, but just kind of looks like mud because like he landed in mud, so you can't really tell what it is until like after Black Cat gets away. After oh, so you're the spider, and then like just kisses him like she does, and fucking like zooms away. He's like, what the fuck? I'm out of web fluid. Like he's just out, right? He's like, God damn it. He just like God. He just pissed web block. It's like this is like Peter 2 never had to deal with this.
Yeah, right.
Peter 2 doesn't deal with this. He just goes home. He's like, and the costume just like takes over at some point. Like it just stays in his room for now. It's like, oh, so and then like at some point he goes out on patrol again, and then it slowly takes over him, and then all of a sudden he's just like, what the fuck is on? What is this? What on my costume? And then he just sees it. It's cool. It's giving him organic webbing, and he's like, whoa, this is cool. But he doesn't see the goo, so he doesn't correlate goo monster. It's not goo monster. It's like this is cool. What the fuck? What happened? Gotta return. Yeah. And, but then he's like, what is this? And then he's just like he's fighting for a bit. And he's like stuff happens, but like the main villain that is gonna be for this story is Craven. We're doing Craven in this story. Because in the Craven's Last Hunt story, even though he doesn't have symbiote, Peter is wearing the black suit, so we're just gonna have that thing here. So Peter's just like, whatever. It's like he just, oh well, this is a cool suit because like it's not in the comics. He never became Bully Maguire. He just more like, I don't want this thing to bond to me permanently. After he finds out later on what the fuck, like get the fuck off me. What the fuck?
It actually is.
Like I think in the Spider-Man 3 is where the whole thing like it affects your personality came from. But I think beforehand it's more like, what the fuck? I don't want to fuse my DNA. I already got spider shit fused in my DNA. I don't need a third thing. Get the fuck off me. This is weird.
Right.
You're fucking making me go fight while I'm sleeping. This is weird as shit. I'm tired, man. Anyway, so it's like Craven gets hired because the thing that Black Cat stole from was like the pick your mafia, Tombstone or Hammerhead, Kingpin. I don't give a fuck. Yeah. We can do Kingpin just so maybe Daredevil can get a cameo again.
Daredevil.
And they're like, Peter. It's like, how do you know? I don't know how it worked. Probably won't. But like, you have the same heartbeat as Spider-Man. Just figure it out. I defended Spider-Man, but I don't remember his name. He just had a mask on there in the courtroom. So just like, with everyone's memories is fucked. But I'm just like treating it more like your social security is there, and then if you like, yeah, my social security is like, oh yeah, Peter Parker. You didn't go to school. You're like, you don't. That's a number. Like, so it's like most memories got changed, a lot of digital records got changed, but like
Yeah.
it makes no sense if he literally doesn't have a social. It's like they're gonna be like, there's some things that got retained. It's more like if you remind someone, maybe if you remind someone, they start to remember. So, but not remember, but like if you're just looking at a fucking phone, like, oh yeah, that's your number, Peter Parker. Here you go, whatever. I don't give a fuck who Peter Parker is. But like anyway, so there's all this whole dynamic where Spider-Man is like following like Black Cat. They're like quote kind of teaming up. She's like, I'm stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, whatever she's doing at the day. She just wants to. She's just. I mean, she's kind of like Catwoman. She's a sexy femme fatale who's not really a villain, but just trying to steal shit from rich people. It's like, and he's
Yeah.
like, hey, you're like you're fucking over like the mafia or king, whoever you want to pick. Who then, but because they never see Black Cat, and they're like, ah, fucking Spider-Man must have stolen from us, that dick. So they hire Craven, and they're like, Craven, take him out. Like, I will take him out with my life. I will. And then, like, at some point, the Craven Last Hunt happens. Spider-Man gets buried underground. Craven puts on a Spider-Man suit. He's like, I'm fucking Spider-Man. And then you see the iconic thing where Spider-Man doesn't make in the original comics. He doesn't have the suit. He just literally crawls out. I mean, he could still do that, but like, I would like to think like the symbiote, like he knocks out, he's about to die, and his symbiote saves him. So that's another reason he doesn't want to get rid of it. They should save me. It's not bad. It's not horrible. It's like, and he just gets out like, what the fuck? And he just beats the shit out, but then starts beating the shit out of Craven because it's like, what the? Like, Craven's just a dude at the end of the day. It's like, it's just this random. He just, oh, besides the reason he just keeps coming back to life or somehow, he just always. And so he's just beating the shit out of him. And then Felicia, even though it's like, Spidey, what are you doing? What the fuck? And then like at some point,
no.
and then at some point he's like, I don't know when, but at some point he finds out she's Felicia. Like, Felicia, like, you know me? He's like, whatever. And he's like, she's like, yeah, just be Spider-Man. We can kick. And then he's thinking about it, like, just be Spider-Man. I'm Spider. He's like, well, let's say Craven gets away. Craven gets a serum, something fucking makes him stronger. So like, and then Peter's like, what is this thing? It's like, I almost killed a guy. I haven't been this, like, I knew it was making me stronger, but I almost killed a dude. And I can't do it. Like, it's like, it's not like a different person. But it's like, he's not Bully Maguire. He's not like fucking like dancing in the street being a dick, but he's like, it's just influencing him to be like, he's more tired. He's literally waking up in the middle of like a fight because the suit inside, like, let's just be Spider-Man and just fuck Black Cat on the roof or whatever. I don't, or is it like,
Right.
or no, let's not do that. It's kind of rapey, but, but like, he just, whatever. Well, he's just like struggling with this, and he's like, how do I, what is this thing? I don't know what this is. And he just like, and then he goes to like, who's the smartest person I know right now? How about the guy who gave me a scholarship? And he just goes to the Baxter building, just smashes through. Fantastic Four's all there, like, what the fuck? There's maybe a quick fight, but like, I need to take this off. And get this off me, right? Like, or I need to know what this is, right? Like, just like the comics. So like, that's how he figured out. And it takes out like, well, if you take it off, we're gonna see your face. And then he's like, fuck. He's like, because you're like, I don't know, because he's trying to, so he slowly doesn't even know if he wants to be Peter anymore, right? But he's like, but this is like the first step. Where it's like, you know what, fuck it. I don't. This is Fantastic Four. This is whatever. He takes it off, like on, like, or maybe they're like, we'll turn around. It's like, and he puts the fucking bag on. The bombastic bag man is here, y'all. The trash, the suit. Everyone's like, man. Yeah. And he just has this ESU T-shirt. It's like, well, at least, like, dude, you're from college. You dumbass. You wear your ES. And Peter, we could tell it's you or whatever it is. But it's like, in the comics, he's basically Peter's second family. So like, there's like in the comics, Avengers are coworkers, but Fantastic Four is like his like legit like brother, uncle figures that, you know, whatever. But they're like, whether or not he finds out he's Peter or not, they just see his face or doesn't. They're like analyze like, this thing's alive, man. It's like, you mean it's a black goo monster? They're like, yeah, it's not a monster, but the black goo thing is like, oh, this is what Peter 2 told. Like, who's Peter 2? What? Like, like Peter, like, nothing. Is like, did you go multiverse hopping? Like, no. Nothing. No. It's like Fantastic Four explored multiverse. I don't give a fuck. Like, we've done that already. We won't care. So another Spider-Man who gives a shit. Anyway, yeah, this thing's like trying to attach to you, and he's all like, fuck that, and he just leaves. But like, because like the suit still wants him, it breaks out at some point and starts trying to find him, like in the comic, right? But like, Craven, now souped up on like whatever fucking serum he took. He's like a little more jacked up, and then finds Peter, starts. Oh no, here. So okay, here I scratched my original idea. They fight originally. Peter just beats the shit out of him, almost kills him, goes to get analyzed, takes it up, takes it, goes away. Craven comes back, beats him in the ground, buries him alive. Symbiote finds him. They come out, and then they go to the bell tower where he like fucking fights Craven for the last time, beats him down, almost kills him, doesn't kill him, does the whole bell thing, takes the suit off, get the fuck out of my face. I'm breaking up with you. Like Black Cat maybe helps out, and she's like, "You're Peter Parker, the nerd in my history class."
The hot one?
The hot, I mean, the hot nerd. I mean, the nerd. Ew, because like the thing with Felicia, she doesn't really like. I mean, she kind of likes Peter, but she really likes Spider-Man. She likes the aspect of Spider-Man, which is like the whole conflict, where it's like, nah, I don't want to be that. So anyway, he's like, no, fuck, no, I don't give a shit. Get this away from me. And then like post-credit scene, Venom comes back, takes the suit back, but it's like here now. I was like, where is Spider-Man? Then they can have their Venom Spider-Man movie that doesn't have to do with this trilogy, and then they bro bump fist and then split ways or whatever. Anyway, Black Suit is done, but in this movie, the whole time in the background, Harry's like trying to like impress Felicia, but like even though she likes Spider-Man, she's way into Peter more, or doesn't care about Harry. He's like, oh, fuck, I'm Black Cat. I like Spider-Man. Even this Peter kid's better than you. Get out of my face. And then Harry just slowly like, and then like at the end of the movie, you'd be like, he gets into like one of his mom's science labs, and he's like, what the like, he just finds the Oz formula. He's like, this is like, and he just takes it, like he just sips it, right? Like in the Spectacular Spider-Man, he just sips it, and then you just see him like collapse, like, whoa, fuck, right? He just starts. That's where we ended with there, right? Next movie. Anyway, and also in that first movie, I want to introduce Miles somehow. Just like he's like at first, he's like the first movie, just he's a character at Feast. He's just like volunteering. Peter wants to volunteer just because like want me back in the day. They don't know who I am, but I'll help out. And then he sees Miles. They're like they talk, whatever. They just started to build that repertoire. It's like Miles is looking up to Peter. Peter doesn't really know if he likes this, but at the end of the movie, that's it. He goes back to Feast, like, yeah, I have to be Peter Parker too. I have to like, I can't just be Spider-Man. It's just like even though in the first movie he gave up being Peter Parker for the sake of being good, that doesn't mean he can't be Peter Parker. He's still, but some things have like, let's say Harry, he gets a falling out with Harry. Harry moves out or whatever the fuck happened. And that also at the end of the movie, it's like, oh, Harry moved out. We got a new roommate, and who is it? It's like, what's your name? Michelle? And like MJ walks in, and Peter's like, fuck. so he doesn't go to his room, because I was like, I'm not gonna put a boy and a girl in the same room. But now it's like, no, of course. Just when I thought my life was gonna be normal, nah, MJ's back. MJ transfers to ESU because MIT's too expensive. So she's like, but Ned is still there. So Ned's in the back. So in the second movie, you see more cameos of Ned. And let's say maybe he's practicing some magic, because he still remembers, like, I opened a portal once. I don't know why I opened it, but I know I can open shit. Like, I'm like, it's like he's changed the Doctor Strange on the side or whatever. So like that's like saving it. But I'm like, we slowly start introducing them back in right when Peter thinks his life is like, okay, I finally found the balance of Spider-Man, Peter Parker. MJ comes in, fuck that shit. And all the meanwhile, but now he's actively dating Felicia, or kind of dating Felicia. Now he's like, oh, fuck. Because, Peter's life can never. Anyway, next movie. Jay Jonah is really pissed off at Spider-Man. He just destroyed a church. He no grounds. And he's like, Jonah, what do you he's Spider-Man. This guy's cool. Like, no, we have to kill him. He's whatever. And he's like, you know what? Fuck, I got all this money from being the Alex Jones who actually succeeded in this world on Fox News. I got the money. I'm gonna make a program on the side. And he's like, okay, you Spider Slayer dude, you make some robots. And then like that's the grunt villains. But like the main thing is like, hey, like I'm dead desperate. Random guy from prison. Do you wanna get out real quick? It's like, sure. What do you want? Like, hey, like, and it's Matt Gargan. He gets Scorpion. He makes Scorpion in this movie. So like it's the most dangerous because like Peter had to fight Green Goblin and Sandman and Electro, but like one, he had help, or two, they weren't like fighting directly. This is gonna be his main like his biggest challenge yet. Like this fucking 10-foot guy with a poison tail and shit. And he's just like,
Yeah.
what the fuck is going on? And there's like a Harry subplot where he's slowly taking more and more of the Oz, and he's slowly like developing symptoms, shit. So it's gonna be whatever. So I'm kind of combining Harry as Harry and kind of like Venom and or Eddie Brock in terms of he's like Peter somehow keeps screwing up Harry's life indirectly, but like or maybe not even indirectly or directly, but Harry's just blaming Peter slowly over time. So it's like this fucking Peter kid is pissing me the fuck off. Like I'm gonna kill him. Or like in the back, no, I can't kill him. He's cool. I want to kill him, but I don't want to kill him. There's no symbiote, so they're not doing that. But we're doing the Oz thing, so he's slowly getting kind of more stronger. Maybe he got to walk on the football team. He's like, man, Harry, you're really getting buff now. And he's like, did you see him? Like, I thought some smoke came out of his car. Is he like smoking? Like, no. They didn't find any drugs because to look for drugs, you have to know what the drug. No one knows the fuck Oz is. You can't really look for that shit, right? Like how in real life, because it's a PED thing his mom was developing or a drug or whatever, but like it's unstable, got canceled, but he's taking it behind her back, right? Because she's not gonna be. I'm not gonna make like her like a Goblin Queen or Green Goblinette or whatever fuck. But she's just like this normal CEO lady who just doesn't pay attention to her kid because she's the CEO. But she's not a dick like Norman. That's why I want to distinguish the difference. Anyway, Scorpion's around now. Peter's like, oh, what the fuck? Like, hey, and he gets beat the shit. Like he is getting rocked. He's coming. He just comes back. He's like broken bones. Michelle and Gwen are the MJ and like Felicia are like, what the fuck happened? And Felicia's like, at this point, him and Felicia are on the rocks, and maybe they've broken up. But if you find Peter, bro, it's like and Felicia's like, Peter, what's happening, right? And MJ's like, because they're living in the same apartment now or whatever, and it's hella awkward because like MJ kind of like maybe you can say she's starting to like some pieces are like forming in her mind. Maybe Ned comes over, is like, hey yo, I'm MJ's friend from high school. It's like, oh, I'm Peter, and they call back, like they try, like he's like, oh, what's up, Peter, and they like do it, and then they do the handshake just unnatural, like and they're like that was weird. That's hella cool, like bro, you're really good at handshakes, man. And then like you can maybe start thinking like something's like turning in both of their heads, like something's like clicking. But Peter's like, I'm not gonna tell him I'm fucking who. I was your friend in high school too, but like I made you guys forget about me, and then I decided not to tell you because first of all, how would that change anything? But this is this life of Peter Parker. Of course, they're gonna fucking remember because nothing can go right in his life, and everything that goes right, there must be something that goes wrong. So anyway, he's like, he's getting shit rocked, right? He's like, what the fuck? I can't beat this guy. I don't know what to do. And then this is the movie where like Miles gets his powers somehow. They go to the corporation. Maybe they're experimenting on spiders. He gets bit in the back. Like it's not like show, but like I want Miles to be shown. Like we just flash to Miles. Like you're seeing Miles do more stuff on his own. He's a Spider-Man fanboy because obviously he would be, right? He gets bit. Starts to find like you see like him like try to pick up his phone. He shocks his phone because he has the quote unquote Venom touch. That's why we can say Venom because like Peter never like talked to Venom, so it's like it's not weird or whatever. He never knew the symbiote is Venom. It's like just Eddie, what the fuck, man? What's wrong? What are you doing? Because we had a stupid side project movie that may or may not be good. Who knows? Anyway, you're just like because I'm going off. I've been thinking about this for a month. No, it's just Scorpion's like this is like the toughest feeling. Like I don't know if I can beat this guy. Like it was like who's like this is like I don't got the suit. I don't got the symbiote suit. I don't got Stark Tech. This shit. He's the most. I've never dealt with such a brutally forced thing since like because Goblin. He beat up Goblin, but at the end of the day, he's not like a fucking half mechanical suit dude who like with a poison tip and shit. He's crazier and he's probably harder to fight. But like in terms of like raw power, this is the strongest person he's fought, right? Like
true.
And he obviously is holding back. He's not gonna like try to like kill the guy, even though he could. I'm gonna establish that he probably could But he's like Spider-Man. He always mentally blocks himself from like trying to kill things. He's just like he's on his own. But then like in the final battle, he's like, "Fuck, I don't know." And like we're not gonna bring in the Avengers because fucking Captain Marvel comes in. It's gonna be a stomp, right? He stomps. It's done. But like, let's say, I know. Only Johnny Storm of the Fantastic Four is in this movie because Johnny replaced because MJ moved into a different room. MJ replaced him in a different room, but Johnny just started college, so he's Peter's new roommate, and he knows he's Spider-Man because he's fucking Fantastic Four. But like, he teams up with Peter to fight off Scorpion because I think the guy with fire powers might help out a bit. It's like I'll help you out, Pete. Here we go, and we're just gonna it's the final battle. So let's say it's on ESU. MJ and Ned are there. Felicia's there. Everyone who Peter loves is there. And it's like Peter just has to like will himself, and he basically and like Jay Jonah is like who have a whole arc where Jay Jonah regrets. They have a talk. I have a heart to heart. Like, I don't hate Spider-Man. It's just like I have this shit that went wrong. Hating Spider-Man gave me a career. And now I don't know what to do. I'm like stuck in the dark. My wife died. My son's gone out. Something happened, right? He's and then Peter like gains sympathy for Jonah or whatever, right? But like at the end of the day, like you made this like I can't say sorry. It's all my fault, right? Because like let's say Scorpion kills Jonah's wife because Scorpion finds out he can't get out of the suit, just like in the comics. So he kills Jonah's wife, and Jonah's like I think there's a panel in the comic. It's not his old wife, but his new wife gets killed by something, and like Spider-Man comes up to him in the comics. He's like, "No, don't say sorry. I can't blame you. This is all my fault." And that's like a big turning point because Jonah's like, "It's not your fault, Spidey. I can't blame you for this. It's all me, right?" So like Jonah's wife dies. Peter's pissed the fuck off. It's like let's say Johnny gets stabbed for a bit. He's poisoned on the ground. He's out for the count, even though he helped out. Like let's say he got when he got even though he got stabbed, he like burned off Scorpion's tail. So now it's just a fucking fist fight with his. He's still like I don't know if it's like cybernetic, but like and Peter just beats like he just finally at the moment he finally like cracks him in the face, knocks him out, and they're like finally like the Fantastic Four or maybe like Captain America Falcon comes in like, "Oh, we'll take it from here. We got it." And then this is when we're reintroducing it because now we've had a movie and a half where Peter's been on his own. And he's not joining the Avengers, but like we'll take him out for you, Spider-Man. Good. You want to join the Avengers? And like we've helped this out at like the battle against Thanos. You can help. Want to be a part of my team? Like no, I'm Spider-Man. Right? So we make sure he doesn't join. He doesn't join, but he's like, "Thank you." But so it's like they're still connected, and maybe everyone's starting to like, "Do I know you?" Right? Because like, "Do I know you?" It's like something. Because everyone's like, and then end of the movie, MJ. I don't want to know if Ned, but MJ remembers him. He's like, "Peter?" And he's all like, at the end of the movie, he's like, or maybe he's just like, "Are you Peter? Are you Spider-Man?" And he's like, it's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" He's like, "It's like, I didn't want to tell you." Like, "No, why didn't you tell me that you after I forgot?" And then he's like, "Ah, shit." Because now she's like, you got a promise. And now she's like, "I'm done." And she like leaves. And now he's like, because nothing can go right for Spider-Man. But then Miles is like, "Pete, like can you talk you I got." And then but then Jonah, he's redeemed, and they make up into Spider-Man or Peter, and Peter like shows up to the Daily Bugle because Jonah's like, "I don't know what to do." It's like I don't want like Spider-Man's like a hero now, and I can't get like he's not gonna get a picture with me or whatever. And then Peter comes in and is like, "Hey, I heard you're looking for pictures of Spider-Man," and he just like puts some stuff on the thing. So now the Daily Bugle is now like Spider-Man supporter, and Peter now has a job taking pictures of Spider-Man. So now we're like, okay, now we set up that Peter is now working at dailybugle.net or whatever. And he's the main. Now he's got a fuck ton more money, but still poor because it's still fucking. Jonah's still a dick. He's just not like he's not like an asshole. He's a dick now. He's downgraded to dick level. He's not like, "I want to kill Spider-Man." It's more like, Spider-Man brings in the clicks. Just do whatever you want about Spider-Man. Slander or not slander, support. We don't care. This is Spider-Man. We got a sole Spider-Man page now, and this is our main guy, Peter, random guy. But like, maybe that's the thing where MJ's like, "He's fucking Spider-Man. No one else could get these fucking photos. Why is everyone so stupid?" And then she it clicks, and then once she realizes that, the spell wears off on her, and then she's like, He promised. He didn't. And then now we're going to the last movie where this is where the Sinister Six are being formed. Because Scorpion lost his like, he's all like fuck, what the hell? And then he comes back and it like Vulture's like, no, I'm gathering because like Vulture's the one who like in the back then like I don't know, I can't tell you, but like, hey, you want to be part of something? And Vulture gets his like they break. There's a big prison break at the raft because that's where they're putting them all at. Vulture
Yeah.
gets out. Craven gets out. Scorpion gets out. Found out Mysterio's still alive. Mysterio is back like an asshole. So that's 4. I don't know who other 2. Maybe Rhino. He's bringing a Rhino guy, and then maybe Black Cat. Maybe someone else. It doesn't matter who the member. Oh no, I got Harry. Harry. That's what Harry is because now Harry at the end of the second movie fully is like Harry disappeared. Has anyone seen him? Like no, but now there's this big demon guy with this big orange demon dude with fire just in the background. That's because in the Ultimate Comics, Harry becomes Hobgoblin, and the goblins in the Ultimate Comics are basically Hulk with fire. So it's just like this it's like you want to kill Spider-Man, and he breaks them out. Like we all have a common enemy, and I have and he just transforms back into Harry because he can still kind of control it at this point. Like I can make you all kill I can help you upgrade. So he like helps upgrade Vulture's suit, stabilizes Craven, gives Scorpion a new tail, right? So now it's like, now we're just gonna, and then it's building up. Peter slowly revealed himself to Miles. He's slowly like teaching him the ropes. Like, yeah, this is how you swing. Yeah, it's where the Miles Morales game is at now, because like that's around the age they would be
Yeah.
now. Because in real life, Tom Holland might actually be like over 30, but maybe he still hopefully he still looks 24, 25. But but like whatever.
True.
So he's like we're teaching him. So like okay, and then Mike, okay, so it's not Spider-Man's not on his own. He'll at least have Miles to help him out. Whatever. Black Cat probably can help him out too. Johnny Storm, whatever, whoever. It's gonna be like a team up because like as much as we want to think that Spider-Man can fight all 6, not even the video game he fought all 6 because like he got his ass kicked when he had to fight all
You're
of
right.
them. Even though he could beat each of them individually now, he can't beat all of them, especially because he just came out Scorpion. Mysterio finds out Mysterio's back, or maybe it's not even Mysterio. It's just because Jake Gyllenhaal might be problematic now. Who knows? But maybe the whole crew is like, no, we still have revenge on Spider-Man. He killed our leader, and they have all the hologram shit still or whatever. So so Harry, maybe Harry gives them resource to make a new Mysterio, but it's really just like the guy in the glasses who like Tony Stark built this thing in a cave, and just that guy again. Because he shot at that guy, and that guy was the
What's
guy.
his fucking God? What's his name?
I don't know, but that's the guy who like
Obadiah.
Yeah, the guy Obadiah yelled at. He was like the right hand man in Far From Home. So now he's the Mysterio, right? He's just making illusions and shit. Not as good, so maybe that's like the nerf you give him, right? But now like Peter has to like, but like this is where we're going with Ultimate. In the Ultimate comics, Peter fights a bunch of shit because New York gets attacked. The Avengers are fighting Fantastic Four. Everyone's fighting, but Peter dies fighting the Goblin. I'm not killing Peter Parker, but we're going down the same road. So spoilers for my pitch. So like he has to fight all his villains 2-on-2, 3-on-3. Or they fight him at one point, he gets away. His team up with people. Miles helps him out with like Scorpion or something. He like just zaps him. It's like, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know I could do that. I just zapped the dude. Like he's like Scorpion's out for count. Mysterio, we can make him the joke once. Peter just punches him. It's like fuck. It's like, bro, you're too easy now, right? You're not even like Mysterio. You're too easy. It's too easy shit. And then, but he's slowly getting worn down, right? Because like Harry hasn't revealed himself yet, right? To Peter, right? So like, and then like at some point like we got Rhino. No, let's have Miles take out Rhino, just like in the video game. He took out Rhino, right? She's like thanks, and then they beats Scorpion. He gets help from Black Cat to fight Craven. He can just go on, and then let's say Johnny Storm and the Fantastic Four come in to help fight. What if I put it? Or maybe they're fighting Scorpion again. It's like, we'll fight, take him off. You go, because maybe like they kidnapped MJ and whoever. You gotta go, right? Like it's like, okay, gotta go. But he's been worn down. He's fought all the. Who did I name again? Oh, and Vulture. He fights. Like he's fighting Vulture. Yeah. He defeats him, or Vulture like like, "I don't even wanna do this. Just whatever you do, don't, just let me go," and he just disappears or whatever's happening, and but he eventually gets to, like, where it's, like, Harry, and he's, like Harry's captured a bunch of people, MJ's one of them. Maybe he's took down some of the heroes when Peter leaves, like, Felicia, like, knocked out. The Fantastic Four are, like, trapped. The Avengers are, like, they're dealing with something else. Like, Harry's like,
Mhm.
"I have, you ruined my life." Harry, you're not well. We need to get you help because Harry's not evil. He's just like he's just the drug. It's the Oz thing. Like
It's a drug.
it's the drug. But then he's
It's a
like,
different personality.
yeah, and then he just goes in and is like, "I'm the fucking hobgoblin." Just hobgoblins out, fucking big Hulk, orange monster, fire. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, what the fuck? It's like we find Peter found out a long time ago he was like Osborn, but like, well, maybe he's different. But now it's like, oh shit, this is not the Goblin. This is something. He's like, he's like, just to fight him. He's going like beating him to, they're beating each other like blow for blow, like fucking,
Yeah.
Harry's slowly getting more stronger. Peter's getting weaker. And they're like, fuck, what am I gonna do? And then like the camera, because like there's a fight going on in Queens, every fucking or wherever, Manhattan, and everyone's starting to come in. New crew is in, like Jay Jonah's coming. It's like, no, Jonah, don't come here, right? And then at some point, Peter gets unmasked. So now the whole world knows Peter's Spider-Man again, but this time it's the opposite context. He's trying to defend Pete. So it's like we've come full circle with the Peter Parker reveal. So now,
Oh, okay.
so just like in the Ultimate, they found out well before he died, but he was
Mhm.
unmasked during that fight, right? So it's like it's Peter, and they're like he's fighting Goblins like you can't beat me. It's like, and then like Miles like shows up and he's like, they try to like double team him, still not working. Felicia tries to help, but she gets knocked aside. Fantastic Four down for the count somewhere else. The Avengers aren't here. There's no Captain Marvel coming. Captain Marvel's across the universe. He can't help you. No one's here, right? And
Yeah.
then, but then, like you just like hear but now the face is revealed, so everyone's like, "Oh, it's Peter." The spell doesn't get revealed, but like now
But
people, because only MJ's only because their love is so strong. That's the only spell that got technically taken off. But like Ned finds
mhm.
out, but it's like, or maybe Ned too. It was like, but then like Ned comes in, like, what the fuck, Ned? What are you gonna do? And then Ned like fucking whips out magic and shit. And you're like, oh shit, there we go.
Oh,
Because
shit.
because remember, like in the movie, he has magic. So I was like, I've been training with Doctor Strange on the side. Like it's like all that. And
I'm
then
a
my
magic.
my
I
my
can help
my
you.
summer internship is just me going to Siberia and training under Doctor Strange and whoever is the source is like, oh shit, that's cool. And he's like,
Right.
Peter, and now they're all teaming up, and now everything's good. But like, so slowly MJ's finally away, and Peter like finally defeats like Harry, knocks him out, like finally down for a count. But here's where I'm gonna switch it up. We're going to Have you ever heard of the Spider Girl comics?
Yeah, yeah,
No?
yeah.
It was all over a Scholastic book for back in the day, right? I remember seeing that a lot in Scholastic book. Anyway, so Mayday
Yeah.
Parker, that's in that universe, Peter retires after he loses his leg,
Really?
right? So no, he doesn't. So at the end of the day, Peter can no longer be Spider-Man because like pick arm, leg. Let's do arm because they like to do Star Wars. So he loses his arm, but he finally beats like Harry at the end. It's like and then Harry like depowers down. Like we'll cure, and then like they'll say, oh, we'll cure him, whatever. We'll just do. But everyone now knows Peter, but he has to retire. It's like it's like damn. It's like so we don't kill him, so we can have him like for future movies. But he can't really be Spider Man now because like so now he's like okay, I can't like. But now he trained up Miles. Miles takes over. Next trilogy is all
Mhm.
Miles Morales, with Peter being cameoed. Peter retires, and like in the Clone Saga, the only good thing about it, he retires with MJ. They get married. He becomes this hot science teacher that everyone's like, that's the at ESU. Wait, that's the Spider-Man guy. He's teaching my math class. That's so cool. Or whatever,
Yeah.
right? And but he'll be
It'd be like
but then
Tony
like
Stark and Iron
yeah,
Man,
but then he'll be like
them being
and then
company.
like in the Miles movies all in the future, he'll come back. He'll be like, I'm Spider-Man, just kick someone's ass. And like boom. It's like Peter, but you're retired. I'm still I just lost an arm. I didn't lose my powers. Go do whatever. Like go save the person you're trying to save, right? But that's the next set of movies with the new character. But now Tom Holland gets to retire. He can do his own work. But like that's my epic trilogy of the next. So he comes back full circle now. Spider-Man is dead, but Peter Parker can live on. Like unlike the last end of the trilogy, Spider-Man but he can't be Spider-Man anymore. But he'll always think like, should I continue? Let's just say it's the leg, so he can't. He's in a wheelchair. He can't be Spider-Man without no leg, right? Even though they could give him a prosthetic, it's like I'm done. Miles, you proved yourself. You took down. I couldn't take. I barely could take down. You took him out in one blow, man. You're hella cool, man.
Stronger.
That's. I think Miles is not stronger, but that Vellum, like you're the seal of approval. You're Spider-Man now, but no one knows who Miles is. So now, there's another Spider-Man. Who the Spider-Man have a kid, but he's like 25. What the fuck?
Yeah, and he's shorter.
Yeah, and he's shorter, and he's Afro Latino, but no one knows that. But whatever. But anyway,
that'd be cool. Yeah,
and then like you could maybe do Mayday Parker in like 20 years after that, where it's like, hey, look at this biracial kid with spider powers who's teaming up with the X, or like so who's teaming up with the X-Men. Who are you? It's like, my name's Mayday Parker. This 10-year-old, and she just spits out, just like does webs normally. But that's where it ends. Peter, no longer Spider-Man, but finally happy. Miles takes over, and Tom Holland can come back whenever he wants with a prosthetic leg or something.
That'd be sick. I think that'd be cool having him cameo.
Yeah, cameo help Miles out with like some problem, or like, hey, I think Peter's still like smarter, so it's like, I finally figured out a way. Like, here, these web shooters will last 3 times as long. He's like, he can make stuff for Miles on the side, or he'll mentor him. Like, Miles is down, he'll like, hey Peter, like, you ever have girl trouble? It's like, let me tell you about Felicia Hardy. Like Felicia, that the black cat girl, like, shh, shh. Like MJ and Mayday are sleeping. Shut the fuck up. Like, but yeah, he finally makes up with MJ. He says, "I love you" at the end of that third movie. He finally does it. It's everything clicks. Ned is fucking being a magic Superman, cool dude. Harry is locked up. Maybe you can make him Miles' villain, but like recurring. But it's like, like he can't. He's like, whatever. You can cure him or whatever. But like, then Miles can be like, now you can be like, hey, Electro is been so many years. Now we can do an Electro. Now we can do like, I don't know, pick random Spider-Man villain no one's ever done yet. I don't know. Sandman can come back or whatever. Peter 2, Peter 3 were like, what happened? Well, my little brother got his leg chopped off. What the fuck? What the fuck happened? What happened?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Anyway, and also I want, like, because obviously Peter's going to be in some Avengers or big movies. The one other thing I want, Secret Invasion. The one thing I want is that Captain Marvel remembers who he is when he's like, hey, yeah, guys, we gotta do something. And Captain Marvel's like, what do you want me to do, Peter? He's like, Peter, like, what? I don't know, because this is before the big reveal at the end of the. It's like, how do you know? It's like, you told me, you said your name was Peter Parker, and then he realizes, and Nick Fury tells him like, yeah, you're Peter, because everyone's off work, like the wording is very vague enough where they could do that. It's like everyone in the world will forget you're Spider-Man, so like, or everyone will forget. So like, it's debatable if it's the universe or just. So now it's like only Captain Marvel and Nick Fury, 2 powerful people who are never going to spill a secret, are like only know. Now you're like, that's cool. Of course, Nick, and then Nick Fury would have found out anyway.
And you got the Guardians of the Galaxy too.
Yeah, who may or may not die in that third movie. Depending on James Gunn, what he said recently, like this team will not be here next. This is the last time with this team. Like, shit, people are dying.
It's probably it's probably the last time with this team. Maybe they'll expand it. Maybe they'll change it.
Some people die. Some people retire.
Yeah, rework.
Yeah, maybe Star-Lord, Gamora go off. Drax dies or something. I don't know.
That'd be crazy.
We just spoiled Guardians of the Galaxy a year and a half. Oh, sorry guys. We spoiled Guardians of the Galaxy 3 a year and a half at a time. Sorry. But yeah, that's a big thing. That was my big epic.
That is one hell of a tale. I can tell you that. You really thought about that one hard.
Bro, if it comes true, I need Disney to pay me Sony to pay me right now.
This copyright?
This is my copyright story, even though it takes elements from every other Spider-Man story. This is my story. Even though it took from Kraven's Last Hunt, the Black Suit Saga, I didn't do clones. I don't want clones is too
The
weird because like
ultimate.
even if you have a good clone saga, don't do clones. I don't need to see two Tom Hollands
Oh
on screen.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
gonna confuse the shit. Just do. That's why the only thing I took from the clone saga is that Peter retires and becomes like a science teacher, because high school science teacher at he goes back to his high school, but he teaches there now. He's just like whatever, and now his face is on the wall and shit. So it's like a callback. The principal's like, oh, and then let's say the PE coach still like, I still think you're weird, man. Even though like he doesn't remember, but like subconsciously like, man, Peter, this Spider-Man's weird. I don't like you. Run five. Remember in
He's
the
a
movie,
murderer.
the murderer. Like, he didn't murder him. I think he's a murderer. The Daily Bugle doesn't even put that out there anymore. He's like, you're still a murderer. I'm looking at you. He's this weird dude. And the other teacher's like, oh, you're so cool, man. We're all, but like the spell never wore off except for like Ned and MJ. But now everyone knows he's Spider-Man. But
Yeah.
anyone who wanted to beat him, Vulture's like, I don't give a fuck anymore. Scorpion knocked the fuck out. He's stuck in the raft all the way on the ground now. We don't need to bring him back. Harry's getting cured, he's getting help, getting cured, mental illness. His mom was like, oh, I'm sorry, Peter. I didn't know. And it's like, it's okay. We'll figure this out together or whatever. Maybe Harry dies. I don't know. The Oz formula makes people come back to life. So maybe Harry dies, comes back to fight Miles another day, and Peter has to help out again. Peter comes in with a spider iron suit, like
oh my god.
Where he's like, oh shit, he's Iron Man. And everyone's like, this is a callback to when he was called Iron Man Jr. 20 years ago.
Technically, he could still access Stark Tech.
I think now though,
he just can't get to it.
Yeah, but then
because he's still like the heirloom essentially. He still has like fingerprints in the system.
I wonder because Stark Industries, they're probably going to explain it because like that shit going under. Like, what's happening there?
No, it's not going under. It's just under investigation.
Yeah,
but they're never going to go under.
But I think they're never going to be topping it, and there's no Tony, so now it's like
no, there's never going to be topping him.
There's no Iron Man suits now, like, except for we'll see how Iron Wars goes because I think that might be
true.
Oh, Ironheart, fucking, I'm dumb. She can
Ironheart too, yeah.
She can make him as like, hey, I heard you and Tony were close back. You like helped out Iron Man. You're cool. Here's like a suit I made.
But here's the thing. It's like if him and Ironheart come together and he like, let's say he like goes into the AI will recognize him and be like, hello, Peter, welcome back.
Or whatever.
And then Ironheart would be confused and be like, what do you mean? Like, what does she mean, welcome back? Like, this is the first time they're ever meeting. I don't know how you're in the system.
You know what? Let's just fanboy out. The system AI now is fucking Tony Stark's voice. Because Ironheart has Tony Stark's AI. So it's like, no. It'll be even weirder. It doesn't know that it's Peter. It's just like, this is after Peter reveals his identity. But they bring in Robert Downey Jr. to the voice. So now it's like, hey, Peter. And he's just like, Pfizer. This is Tony.
That'd be sick.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah. Or just a hologram of Robert Downey. Robert Downey Jr. just came in for a thing. And it's like, whatever. It's like, hey, Pete. And it's like, but he doesn't know who Peter is because, the spells still work, but it's just hella weird seeing like, hey, Peter, how you doing? Yeah. Or maybe Secret Wars, which I think they're going to do. It feels like it's inevitable. They're doing multiverse collapses, Secret Wars, bring back everybody. Freaking doesn't even matter. Robert Downey Jr. has a cameo. Sees Peter. Peter, I died. What are you doing? Mr. Stark? Imagine this 30-year-old guy going, Mr. Stark.
That'd be insane.
He's like, you're old. What the fuck? You're old. You're not a kid. You're like Falcon age.
Yeah.
You're like as old as I. You're like old as I was when I graduated MIT. What the fuck? It's like so much things happen, but then like because Robert Downey Jr. doesn't want to continue. He's like, I gotta go back. I gotta die. He's like, okay. Then maybe you can do like in those type of movies, you could bring a Ben Reilly, but I don't fucking want to see Ben Reilly in the fucking 3 movie. He's cool and all, but I'm like, I don't need a clone saga. It's gonna be too confusing. You could do that in the animated thing, which I think they might do. Also, this year in the Into the Spider-Verse, there's like rumors that they're gonna bring the 90s and Spectacular Spider-Man people back.
That'd be cool. I heard about that.
No, all I need is Japanese Spider-Man.
Oh god,
That guy.
Peter Parker.
No, I don't even think he's just like a random guy. He's literally just a Power Ranger with a gun, and he says, "I'm," and no, because like his catchphrase is like, "I'm Spider-Man, an emissary from hell." I'm like,
Oh my
whoa!
god. No, they need the Japanese dub voice Spider-Man to come in and do the Japanese Spider-Man.
I think that actor might have died, but anyway, I think Japanese Spider-Man.
No way, really?
No, I just need him to bring out like, it's like, what are you gonna do, huh? And he's like, brings out a freaking gun. Like you've seen the clip where he just shoots, he goes, no, he is. He has a Zord and shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like this is 1960s. This is like the beginning of that era when they started doing like Ultraman and freaking all those Zords. This is the first one. The first Spider-Man's one predates like Suit Sentai and shit.
Yeah.
Like Sentai was influenced by Spider.
So crazy.
That's fucking crazy. Anyway, yeah, that's our pitches. I like to some of your ideas are hella dope, but fuck, I would been thinking about that.
Yours went hella in depth, man.
Bro, that first movie took so long because that's the one I was thinking. And the second movie was like, he beats Scorpion up for a bit.
Mine just gives like a background and villains and how I wanted to play. You're just like, this scene.
This is my epic. This is my
next act. This is the next act. This is how it's gonna play out, and this is the characters that's gonna play in it, and this is what they're gonna say.
No, but like I was thinking like, okay, so I can't do Norman Osborn. So like, because in my head I'm like, you said Green Goblin, I was like, can't really do because you can't bring we can't bring that's gonna be confusing. Like, so there is a Norman, but then Spider-Man would just obviously he'd see like you're Norman Osborn, just kick his ass. Like, where'd you come back? Like, what are you doing? And then you're like, he's just a dick. But like, if you like make it so that Norman either died early on, like when Harry was like 5, and then his wife took over, changed the name of the company. Of course, Norman didn't find Oscorp. It's
True.
Lyman Corp or Lyman whatever. It's not there, and Harry, but he found Harry, but Harry took on his mother's name because like, or even back then maybe they never got married, and that's why. And then like Norman just ended up dying. They separated early. Norman died. They got the money because Norman's not a dick in this universe. He just died early, right? And then she built up the company. That's how it gets rich and stuff. That'll be cool. That's what I would do.
That'd be nice. That'd be dope.
And Harry's the main villain at the end, so you still get your Goblin fix, but like you get the ultimate version with the fireballs and they're beating the shit out of each other. That would be cool. And then I don't want to do the black suit for 2. Maybe you can keep there's a version of what I just said where he keeps the black suit throughout the whole thing, as like or maybe he like just puts it on sometimes. Like, hey, fantastic, you keep it up for me, but like it's a break in case of emergency. Maybe when the Goblin comes, like emergency, it's like come here. He's like, no, I don't wanna. You took me away, and then it's like Peter's like, no time, get here. You wanna kick some ass? Yeah, I wanna kick some ass. And he just comes in, just beats it, and then that's how he like able to fight Harry or whatever. I don't know. That's another thing where it's like the suit never goes evil or goes to become Venom, but it's like break in case of emergency thing. It's like it's gonna bond with you, but like desperate times calls for desperate measures, and then maybe that's how like Peter, he loses his leg in that fight. Still in that the symbiote for a second regrows it, and then but then
he can just reattach it.
But then like the symbiote like realized like I can't. You don't want to be Spider-Man anymore. Then he goes back to Reed, but now obviously he doesn't have a leg, so he just like shit. He just falls down. But then like in other movies where like maybe he doesn't get the Iron Man suit, maybe he's like he just comes in randomly with the black suit, like I'll help you out, Miles. Just like go. I'll take on this villain. Just go, Miles. And Miles like, because Miles is Spider-Man, you have to make Miles the main focus. But Peter can, beat up like Electro's like, like who are you? It's like, he's like, oh, the original Spider-Man. I've been waiting for this. I'm gonna beat you. And he's like, I already beat you before. Like, what? I've never seen you. It's not Jamie Foxx, just a random guy. He's like, I already fought Electric, dude. You're easy. I already know what to do here. Like, you're done.
Yeah, you're right.
You already got the cure, and she got the same cure. He's like, throw it on him. What the fuck? How do you do that? It's like, that's a trick from Peter 3.
Yeah.
Peter 3. Spider-Man 1, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man 4. No, and then Miles can have how many other movies? Get a young guy, get another trilogy or 2 movies, 1 movie. Goes to Champions.
Probably have a good enough amount of movies.
Yeah, and then I just don't want to kill off Peter because like
no, I don't think they should.
I mean, they could
like it goes on like epic motion.
Like you can change if Tom Holland really doesn't want to come back. you can switch up the script where he does die fighting Harry. It doesn't matter. I made it flexible enough, but that you could kill him or he could keep him as a cameo in future movies or supporting role. Anyway, wait, the original thing was a home trilogy. What can I call shit? We got the Away trilogy. the Away
Away trilogy.
So Spider-Man, like Last Hunt. That's the first one because it's Craven, and then just fucking Spider-Man Poison or something with Scorpion or whatever, and then Spider-Man Sinister 6, whatever. That's the last one. But there's no home. Yeah. It's not a home trilogy. I don't want to make puns on some fucking random thing. Because like I'm thinking like No Way Home. I guess there's no way he can be Peter, but there's no. I'm like Far From Home. He's literally far from New York. Homecoming. There's Homecoming Dance, and he's
Homecoming Dance,
and he's home to the MCU. Like No Way Home. I think
they came with Homecoming, and they just branched it off of that scenario.
Yeah, and then No Way Home was like, yeah, the villain. It was like, this is where I was like, they really stretched out this title of Home. Like, it's a cool way because No Way Home is a nice title. It's just more like, why would they call it No Way? You're just thinking like, well, how is that? Okay, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, so like Peter and MJ get together, get married. Ned's cool. Harry's slowly getting better. Felicia's doing her own thing. All like, hey, we're just cool now, whatever. But I'm not with you anymore. Doing her, maybe she retires from being Black Cat because she saw what happened to Peter's like, I'm done with that life. Let me be like a scientist because I combined her with Gwen Stacy, so she's smart. So she's like, I'm gonna just retire, do whatever. Maybe I'll continue being a bad guy. I don't know. Whatever. Miles is now Spider-Man. And then there we go. So the first two movies, I specifically made it so it wasn't like purely happy. So that the third movie we've been building up the finally getting a happy ending. Or if Tom Holland doesn't want to be Spider-Man anymore, tragic as shit by killing him.
That's one way of doing it, man. You just kill him off and then just
you either make it really happy by having him retire or terminate, or he'll like come back as like a multiverse Peter in like 50 years. And like we got like Spider, like Silk is now the Spider. I don't know.
Silk Spider.
Silk or whatever. Yeah.
Or just Silk.
Yeah. Anyway, any other thoughts?
No, I think we've covered everything, man.
Yeah, this is pretty. Okay. It's a pretty long episode, hour 40 something right now, hour 48. But yeah, what do you? Quick thoughts. So let's do some Marvel movies. So Doctor Strange coming out. I think that's gonna be dope. I've heard about the cameo.
I think it's gonna be cool.
I heard visually it looks hella cool. It might be like, and Sam Raimi's doing it. Spider-Man 3 was not bad. Like people as bad as people thought it was. It was just kind of like Bully McGuire. It was 10 years too early for meme culture, I think.
True. That's true.
And then I don't think Sam Raimi's ever made a bad film. It just depends, like, are the cameos. I've heard there's like a lot of cameos. Like, is the cameos because of the studio or the cameos because of him? Because he's saying that there's a lot of reports that's because Sam Raimi wants the cameos, which probably means maybe Tobey Maguire appears or voices or does something. Because
maybe he's
if you get Sam Raimi, you're like, at least Toby has to show up, right? That was the last, I think, movie Sam Raimi did was Spider-Man 3. He loves Toby and shit, and like they're cool, and like bring him in for like a 2-minute cameo. I don't know. I just don't want like do the cameos feel insignificant, or are they actually like meaningful? Because like it's gonna be like the freaking CW Crisis where they just brought back every single
Crisis.
Where they made like every single. It was so like it was cool to see if you knew it, but like, did we really need to see that did we need to see that the Birds of Prey TV show got destroyed? I don't think anyone really cared. It was cool, but like they couldn't even bring back the whole cat. They brought back one character, and they just like and it's gone. Like I don't want that. Where like here's the random world that you watched 30 years ago, and it's gone, and it's never gonna be referencing. I don't need that. But like, I've heard stuff like the Illuminati might be in Doctor Strange. I've heard X-Men might be introduced. Fantastic Four. Multiverse of Madness. You could do whatever you want.
Everybody would love
I
it.
honestly think Wanda is not a good guy.
Yeah, I don't think she is a good guy too.
I don't know if she's the main bad guy, but I don't think she's like she won't start out. She'll like it'll be like a twist where she's like, "Oh, I'm bad. I need to find my kids." But like,
Yeah.
I don't think she's like the main villain because she's still like she was still an Avenger. It's easy to like not easy to get her back, but like, you can't do this. You need help, and then it's like, oh, whatever,
True.
okay. And then like the main villain arrives, but like we'll see. So she might be like the secondary antagonist for most of the film or something, because like you never really see her like you just in the because we only had one trailer, and the movie comes out in
I think it comes out in
July or May.
March, right?
No, that's Batman. Let me see. I think it was. I think it's July. Let me check. Doctor Multiverse. When does it come out? Oh, May. It comes out in May.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so not okay. Anyway, that's cool. Guardians coming out might be cool. Thor coming out. Think if that's gonna be dope. But like Spider-Man is like my favorite character, so that's why. That's how in depth.
Yeah,
that's how
Spider-Man is good.
You saw how in depth I went. I was like, I wouldn't go like, okay, what can I do with Thor? It's like I don't even know.
Right.
I don't even know. Thor, like all those movies, like I think Thor finished filming. We got no information outside Jane is gonna be female Thor, like in the comics. That's literally all. And then Christian Bale is Gore the God Butcher. Like he just
yeah.
I just want like he's gonna do the Batman voice.
That's gonna be interesting.
Because it's Taika Waititi is like he's gonna make him do the Batman voice. It's like Thor. That'd be fucking hilarious. Even for it's like I'm sorry, Thor. And he just goes back, or he speaks like Patrick Bateman. Thor, can I see your business card? So stupid. Anyway,
it's gonna be interesting to see what they're gonna do.
Yeah. Anyway, Justin, you have anything to say? Anything to plug? Anything? No. Aren't you streaming now, or?
I am streaming, but I mean, I've stopped streaming.
Okay.
So I mean, like I'm like here and there.
Okay.
But yeah, I was streaming.
All right. Anyway, yeah, I think we're done for tonight. Thank you all so much for watching here at the GoLoco Show. Remember, if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment down below what do you want to see in the next possible set of movies for Tom Holland Spider-Man. Do you agree with our ideas? Yeah. Do you disagree? Do you have a whole different idea? Does he fight like the Inheritors? Does he like become
the Watcher?
The Watcher? Does he fight like
the end of all? Or was it the beginning of all, or whatever?
The one below all, one above all. Yeah. I don't know.
Does he fight the fucking Celestials?
Does he be
those Cosmic Spider-Man?
He teams up with Harry's. Wait, did you watch Eternals?
Yeah, I watched all of it.
Okay, he teams up with Harry Styles.
And they have a duo.
Like buddy cop movie with Harry Styles and Tom Holland, two British people with American accents in this movie. Anyway, but yeah. Maybe he lives in the Sam Raimi universe forever. There we go. That's not what I want. But anyway, thank you all so much. If you're on a podcast listening platform, share the episode, download it, give us a rating. Remember to support us monetarily. GoLoco Pod, patreon.com/GoLocoPod. Support. Anyway, wherever and whenever you are, hope you have an amazing day. Peace out.
Yeah.